welcome to the Garbalino Club Angler of the Year. Today Darren Cox and I are down at Gold Valley Lakes for what promises to be a really good match, I think. We've got really good weather conditions. If you recall the last fish off that we had at Tunnel Barn, the weather was far from perfect. Today, it's glorious, isn't it?
T-shirts.
At last. This is a great complex. I mean, you and I have both spent some good times here and had some good memories and good matches. How do you think this one's going to go?
Well, I think it'll be a good match. Like you say, it's not bright sunshine, overcast conditions. We could do a little bit more wind, I think. But already, you know, the guys have started fishing and they're catching fish. So the beauty about Gold Valley is it lends itself to so many different methods. And anglers who've got a certain strength, they can fish the strengths and do very well. So it'll be interesting. You know, the middle lake behind us, around these islands, Will was telling us earlier, there's a lot of fish there. I'd love to be drawn down here if I was one of these guys.
You probably would be if you were.
No, I'd probably be on Syndicate on the Sunken Island, to be fair.
Now we've got 80 anglers fishing this one today, which is great again. We've experienced growth in all three of the regions. 80 anglers fishing, there'll be 6 anglers going through off each lake. Yeah. So it's a difficult one to call on weights, isn't it, this? Because I think, looking at what, you know, it's been going, what, about half an hour or so? Yeah. What we've seen already, there's a lot of people with fish on, a variety of methods. How about bait-wise? How do you think it's going to go with baits?
Well, again, it depends. There'll be a lot of feeder fishing today, so there'll be a lot of guys using probably hard pellets with pellets on the feeder or pellet on the pole. I think it'll be pellet dominated largely.
What about pellet waggler?
Well, probably on the other lake and the top end of, or further up on middle, there'll be a lot of pellet waggler fishing.
Let's just talk a little bit about pellet waggler. I mean, there's so many different types available on the market. And I know there was a trend down here a few years ago to be fishing a big pellet waggler at distance with no feed. What's your thoughts on it?
Well, I was talking to Will this morning, and what was really interesting, what he said to me, was the fish are coming to noise. You know, we've spoken that pellets will be important. And the pellet waggler approach, you're actually creating noise without feeding them too much. And especially lakes like this, there's lots and lots of fish, but they can be very wary fish. They come to the sound, come to the noise, see the pellet, and you're not feeding them or not overfeeding them and giving them too much choice. I think a lot of the time, if you chuck a method feeder, for example, and you've got micro pellets on your feeder, or you've got ground bait, there's a lot of bait for them to eat before they can actually get to your feed. With the pellet waggler, what they tend to do here is they're casting it, constantly casting it, creating noise. And these fish are so inquisitive, they're hungry, they want to feed at this time of year, and they're coming towards it. You only flirt, like 4 or 5 pellets out there, you get 8 to 10 fish in your peg, they're starting to compete, and they're starting to lose their inhibitions a bit. And that's when you can put a good weight together. You're not fishing for masses of fish, you're probably fishing for 10 to 15 of these big fish, but it's a big weight.
There's some big fish here, isn't there, as well?
Yeah.
All right, stick your neck out just for a winning weight today.
A winning weight, I'll go for £100. I think if I had between 97 and £105, I'd be quite happy in this competition. You'd be looking at winning certainly.
And yet again, it's probably going to be one of those matches where it's going to be oh so close for the people going through, isn't it?
It always is, and it's always one decent fish either way.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Well, we're expecting another good match, so enjoy it. Well, what another terrific match that's been. We've had a tie for 5th place today with £73.10, £76.14, £97.6, £114.8 for second. And I've been joined by the match winner who set a new standard in this particular series with £181. Roland Lucas, you've had a fantastic day.
Yeah, not bad.
I've watched you every time I walked down to you today. You've had elastic stretching out. You've been in a nice little corner peg there, but talk me through how you fished it.
Yeah, well, obviously I've never been here before, and I've seen where previous anglers have cut out a little bay, so I decided that's where to attack it, and just potted in loads of 6mm pellet and corn, and the rest is history. It's just solid.
The actual tackle that you've used today then in terms of elastic and line?
16 solid latex, yeah. 017 PR28 and a Carper 1 4x12.
Have you got through much bait?
No, about half a pint of pellet, that's all.
Amazing.
Yeah.
So have you everything on pellet or bait or corn?
Double corn.
Double corn.
A couple on paste.
This goes to prove, folks, that you don't need to feed a lot of bait to catch a big weight, certainly. You move on now to Barston Lakes. Have you fished there?
A couple of times before,
What
yeah.
do you think of the place?
Yeah, it's okay. It's better fishing to skimmers, and it's not all this bagging up as it is.
Should be a good final, I think. I mean, we're looking at different ways of doing the final again. Last year we were looking at doing sort of 2-3 hour matches at one point, but at the moment I think it's going to be a nice little surprise for the final for you. So,
right.
Well, you've set a new standard, fantastic weight, well done, mate, and look forward to seeing you in the final. Cheers,
Great,
pal.
cheers.